Hi, this is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, your English teacher here to help you with your fluency. In fact, I would like to remind you that if you like the free fluency exercises, to which there's the link here in the comments box, please try them out, because if you like them on my website, I have more of these exercises for you to try out in the premium courses. So do take a look at them. Okay, now today we're going to talk about typical pronunciation mistakes. Many of my students have recurring pronunciation mistakes, and I've made a note of 7 of them because I thought they were particularly repetitive, and I'd like you to take a look at them now and see if you are one of those who make these kinds of mistakes, because if so, it would be important for you to be able to pronounce these words correctly. So, depending on your origin, some people have more or less difficulty pronouncing these words. So, the first word is would. Now, maybe I should actually show you how this word is pronounced. So, many people don't pronounce the w correctly when they are trying to connect it with other vowels in question words such as would, why, etc. They tend to pronounce a V like would, or they tend to skip it and pronounce like an H. So maybe it's better I actually show you what my mouth does when I'm pronouncing that. So I actually don't put my teeth on my lips as if I was saying would. So it's not a V. Can you see my mouth? V. It's not a V. And it's not a hood, because I'm not blowing air through my mouth. So I'm not saying hood. That's not correct. What I'm doing is I'm making a W sound. So I bring my mouth together, and then I open it, w. So there is no contact with my teeth. It's w, would, and not v. That's not correct, and not hu. So no air is coming out. I'm just making a sound by opening my lips. Would, and I say, would you like a glass of beer? Would you like an orange juice? Would you like a glass of wine? So w. This is something you must practice if it's one of your weak points. It depends on your country of origin. Some people have some kind of weak point, others have others. Okay, another word that is often incorrectly pronounced. Now, I've got 2 examples which come out commonly in my lessons, but in reality it's the same. Any word ending in ER, we don't roll our R's. We say sister. We don't say sister. Sister. The R is not rolled, and neither do we say sister. So sister is not usually what my students say. They tend to say a sister. Instead, the word is sister, and we pronounce it with an A, sister, sister. The same with summer. We don't say summer, but we say summer, summer. We actually make it a little bit longer. It's not summer, but it's summer, summer, sister. So for us native speakers, we can sort of really hear an R, but others tend not to hear it. So it's better to say summer than to say summer. Another letter which is very often mispronounced, is the TH, because we have 2 ways of pronouncing it. So many of my students say bathroom or birthday. And this TH in this case is not said like mother. Let me show you perhaps with my mouth. So we don't say mother, because mother is correct, but we don't say the TH like when we were saying mother, where it comes in. We say bathroom. We throw out the air, bathroom, and birthday. So the air comes out. Instead, the position of the tongue and the teeth is the same when we say mother, but we don't throw out the air, we bring it in, mother. So many of my students say, oh, happy birthday, but it's not correct. We must throw out the air and say happy birthday. So that's something that's important because it's a very common mistake. So then we have parents. So most of my students say my parents because they see the letter A. But in reality, we don't say parents, we say parents. Parents. And another one, not forgetting, sorry, that parents are only your mum and dad. In some languages, people use an equivalent word to indicate all their relatives. Here we're only speaking about your mum and your dad. Another word that many business people mispronounce, they say, I work for a company. But it's not a company, it's a company. I work for a company which, and so on. So company. Also country. Country is often mispronounced. Many people say country, but it's not country, it's country. Country. And another one which is often mispronounced is front. So the spelling is with an O, and most people say front, or I live in front of the swimming pool, for example. But in reality, we should be saying front. I live in front of the swimming pool, or actually I live opposite in this case, but front is when something is in front of you. So let me maybe pronounce these so you can see my mouth at the same time. So let's summarize. The first most common mistake that people make is the W. So you should say would, would. The second mistake that most people make is adding on a strong R after the E. And you shouldn't do that. You should say sister, sister, or for example, summer, summer. The third mistake is the TH, particularly in birthday, birthday, or for example, bathroom, bathroom. The fourth mistake is when people pronounce the A in parents, when we should be saying it a little bit more like an E, parents, parents. The fifth mistake is when we pronounce the O in company, and we should be saying company, company. The sixth mistake that people make is to speak about a country when it should be a country. I live in a country in Europe. You mustn't get confused between town and country, because in some languages, country has various meanings. So in English, country is equivalent to a nation. Otherwise, you have a town, a city, a village. Country is only a nation, whilst you can say countryside when you intend outside town, and we do abbreviate it, I live in the country, but the country is intended as countryside. Okay, so I don't live in a country in the sense of a town, but I live in a country in Europe, and I live in the country as in the countryside. But my town isn't very large, for example. Okay, and finally, the seventh mistake is to pronounce the O in front. You should say front and not front. Okay, so if you found these tips useful, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can have some more, yes, some more tips in my next video. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, and have a wonderful day. All right, then goodbye to everyone. Bye, bye, bye.